Viewers, today in this video, I inform you about the reason the international community is unable to end the war in Tigray. Which the war in Tigray has resulted in a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. International and domestic observers has released reports on gang rapes, extrajudicial killings, destruction of property, and deaths from the starvation. Viewers, on 19 November, the European Union announced that progress remains very limited in Tigray. Fighting is ongoing and humanitarian access is still being prevented. Viewers, the United States and European countries have called for a cessation of hostilities and peace talk. These calls, however, have fallen on deaf ears. Viewers, the United Nations Security Council, where matters of conflict supposedly find a solution, cannot even make an official statement on Tigray. This is after discussing the crisis for the fifth time last week. Viewers, why is the international community having difficulty resolving the most gruesome conflict that has profound security implications for the region? Well, there are five reasons. First is that, according to a senior diplomat who wishes to remain anonymous, Ethiopia is too big to fail. The argument goes undue pressure on Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his government will weaken an already stretched national army engaged in military operation in many parts of the country, from Matakal to Velija and now in North Sheva. Because the fear is that if the Ethiopian government is pushed too hard, it might embolden other disgruntled groups to launch armed resistance. Because conflicts will then mushroom everywhere and millions will become displaced. We were a horror of unimaginable proportions, according to a diplomat. He is, of course, referring to the potential refugee flows out of the country and the creation of fertile grounds for terrorist groups to flourish. Was therefore members of the international community are engaged in wishful thinking that somehow the war in Tigray will end soon, secretly hoping the federal government will emerge as the winner. But the second reason is that members of the international community are hesitant to denounce Abiy Ahmed, someone they hailed as a political reformer and economic liberalizer, so much to award him a Nobel Peace Prize just a year and a half ago. Because how could they now turn and hold the same man responsible for the many atrocities committed by his soldiers or those he allowed and encouraged to march into Tigray undeterred? Eritrean troops and Amhara regional forces. Viewers, exceptions are when the United States publicly declared that ethnic cleansing is taking place in western Tigray, and the European Union withheld 88 million euro for development assistance. They are also demanding the immediate withdrawal of Eritrean troops and Amhara regional forces from Tigray territory. Viewers, third reason is that the international community, who in this case we can crudely call the West, has a somewhat checkered history when it comes to forceful interventions. Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya are cases in point. Because the military interventions in these countries have not turned out as expected. Peace and development are still far from being achieved despite the many lives lost and the billions of dollars spent rebuilding war-torn economics. Because the fourth reason is that there is no functional international mechanism to address a crisis of such magnitudes as the one we are witnessing in the Tigray. However, the United Nations Security Council failed time and again to provide the leadership where the responsibility to protect populations from war crimes, crimes against humanity, and ethnic cleansing can be enforced. Because there is little hope that member of the United Nations Security Council will forge any compromise on Tigray either. The lack of willingness by China and Russia to reach a consensus continues to be a major stumbling block. They seem to be calculating the potential benefits lest Abiy Ahmed and his government pivot to the east. We are striking exclusive deals on trade and investment with the country of Ethiopia's size in a strategic trophy. Well, finally, the international community recognized that Prime Minister Abe has significant domestic political support. His allies come in different shapes and forms. Some see him as the avenger from the past human rights abuses committed by, ironically, the party he belonged to as a senior official, Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front, which has morphed into the Prosperity Party, a party the Tigray People's Liberation Front refused to join. Whereas other supporters of Abe include those who think he is restoring Ethiopia's past glory by moving away from identity politicals, which they claims have divided the country for 3 decades. Viewers, although the recent cycle of violence against Amharas in various regions has made them critical of him, a considerable portion of the Amhara population is also grateful to Abiy Ahmed, effectively allowed them to lay hold of large expanses of land in the western and southern Tigray region. US foreign government therefore realized that punishing Abiy Ahmed and his party will have little impact. They fear he will run roughshod over them, relying on his domestic political capital coupled with a possible pivot to the east. To sum up, members of the international community have put themselves in a real bind when it comes to ending the war in Tigray. The more they differ, the more they are accused of overlooking the horrific atrocities on civilians. Whereas on the other hand, serious measures such as economics sanctions may harden Abiy and his government even further, losing him altogether to a state of perish. But hard choices have to be made, and they have to be made swiftly and at all costs. Enforcing a ceasefire is the first step to protect civilians and stop to looming famine in Tigray. So viewers, this is the latest update about Ethiopia and Tigray. Thanks for watching.